And we're back. I just wrote down all of my stats and a nice little table where I can fill in squares as I add to them. Just because in that other conversation they're like, you want to test your strength? You want to test your eloquence? So I thought it'd be handy to be able to remind myself how much I have of each of those skills on the fly. Because I couldn't necessarily remember. I knew that strength was one of my higher stats and eloquence was probably average, but now I actually have notes to remind myself because sometimes it tells you, sometimes it doesn't. When I had an investigation dialogue option at one point, it said that I was an expert of investigation, but as you can see there, like that showed up there. But when it said test eloquence and test strength, I don't think it mentioned at all how much I had. Oh, I currently have 1 available character point. I'm not entirely sure of when those come up. Maybe it would have been a good idea to pour all of my points into occultism and medicine just because of the fact that I can't ever put them in again after the intro. Just gonna have to find a lot of occultism books, right? Y'all seem to be having some kind of confrontation down here. Can I help out?
You can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard!
There's nothing for you here either. Beat it!
You hear that? You bilge rats don't scare me.
What did he call us just now?
I said you were a bilge rat, and even a poxed limpet. You think we don't know what you're doing? Hidden in the fog?
I'll shut up your big mouth once and for all.
Optimistic.
You don't think we know what you're doing out there in the fog?
Your captain told you not to stick your noses around here again.
This isn't your home, you bunch of sand crabs. We go where we want.
Hey, you'll get us into trouble.
You're already in trouble.
Oh, I want to know what they're talking about.
Can we sort this out? You can see he's half drunk.
There's nothing for you here either.
Out.
Beat
Your
it!
chum wanted to stir us up.
Oh, the same dialogue again? I thought maybe things would escalate. And maybe I could, like, cause some trouble or whatnot.
Come on, you bastard.
Definitely want to know what the hell they're talking about. Do I have a map of this area? Nope. So talk to Bradley and Fitzroy. Where the hell's Bradley? And I've talked to everyone in here. That guy's Algernon. Can't go in the back room. There's no door there. I've been to both those places. No one's on the boat. I've tried to, and the fisher guy wouldn't talk to me. So I think this guy's the only guy left to talk to right now.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? Let's look at the bottom of the pile because they let us. Yay. The manifests. That was the bathroom. Which I really did not close the door. That too. He just disappeared from behind me. Oh, he just walked behind me. You just walk over here when I wasn't looking, and then make me freak out unreasonably. Hello, sir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbormaster's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm wondering if Kat's the one in the bar. Because we have so many female characters to look after, right? I'm curious.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
We capped his leg.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse.
The "you underestimate me" option for investigation. Is the implication there that I was just going to know that it was the Hawkins family even if I hadn't found that information, but I had found that information, so I could have also done it the other way, I guess? I'm wondering if using investigation increases my stat in investigation when I'm successful with it. I'll check the stat later to see if it went up at all.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
And by later, I mean now. Investigation, 70%. It has not moved. Alright. So I've got 2 points. Which means we can increase stuff by, yeah, that much. I'm curious. I'm curious what the significance of the percentage is. There's a little bit of a confusing system they've got here where they call it a ranking out of 5, but then they also give it a percentage. And I don't know if that percentage is my success rate or some other thing, or if it's just my completion rate of like, you have put this many points towards completing this stat. The reason why I say that is because, like, what's the point of giving me, if it is my success rate when I use that kind of skill, then what's the point of having ranks of the skill? Like, why do I have rank 3 of 5 if 40% or 70% or something is supposed to be indicative of how good my skill actually is? Because then that makes the ranking number redundant to confusing. It's definitely not linear, because 3 of 5 is 40%, but 4 of 5 is 70%, meaning it went up by 30%, but, you know, 1/5 is 20%. So it goes up by more than a fifth between 3 and 4. I don't know. Either way, making something better makes it better. The main question is whether or not making something be 50% is better than it being 40% mechanically. Like, if the game actually acknowledges that, or if I should just save up until I have enough points to reach a milestone, which is what I would inherently want to do based on the idea of getting things up to the... Well, I think I want to do this one. Yeah, let's put one more point to spot hidden, or one more rank into it. That makes me 3 of 5, which is a milestone, which satisfies my idea of reaching milestones. But also, if I'm spotting hidden stuff throughout the game, that could actually lead to more clues, and even, if I'm lucky, even find more things for medicine and occultism, which is definitely something that the spot hidden skill does on a regular basis in the game, the Council. How do I say, oh, validate is enter. Yes. There we go. Roy Mitchell, age 55, owner of the Stranded Whale Bar. Roy Mitchell runs the only bar in Darkwater. Prohibition has no hold on the stranded whale, and sailors come to seek some comfort in Mitchell's whiskey. The man therefore knows more than anyone the secrets and rumors that the inhabitants of the island exchange for after a few glasses. Mitchell's devoted to the golden age of whale hunting, if the numerous trophies that decorate his establishment are anything to go by. The man will talk freely on this subject, on which he is so keen, but he will be far less enthusiastic if one was to inquire about his source of liquor. As we know, James Fitzroy. James Fitzroy is the captain of the Charybdis, I think. That's not an easy one. The only boat that still sails between Darkwater and Boston. His base is the harbormaster's office, from where he misses nothing, and nothing that happens on the island. The inhabitants of the Darkwater respect him, the bootleggers despise him. He offered to help me in my investigation. Oh, so he's an enemy of the bootleggers, because he acts as a policing force. The Stranded Whale. A bar where liquor is served with total impunity. It's the last thing I expected to find when I arrived on this island. The Stranded Whale is its name, and it's managed with an iron hand by the owner, a certain Mitchell. He does not tolerate troublemakers, and he fiercely protects the identity of his supplier. All the inhabitants of the area seem to go there, and I even saw what looks like a truce between bootleggers and sailors. We know about the miraculous catch. Yeah, admittedly, these are a lot of redundant details so far. These are extra redundant because they're things I already read, just showing up as being new here. Knowledge? Right, part 2 of that. Alright. I can still try to find Bradley. I just wish I knew where Bradley was. So the 2 characters I know about are named, yeah, Mitchell and Fitzroy, so it's not them. Maybe now I have access to Bradley, maybe he was behind there. At the time I thought I needed to talk to Bradley and any other side stuff before going to the next main objective, but it seems like those are not sub-objectives of the current quest. They just are secondary objectives in general, so I can pursue them afterwards. I'm trying to go to that warehouse, but I can go in any direction now. Things have opened up significantly. Even the people doing the fight are just kind of nonchalantly walking on, so I can now proceed down this path if I want to, which I will. There's something contradictory I'm going to say right out front, I think I'm doomed to get a bad outcome, most likely. Inherently, in this kind of game, this vaguely immersive sim sort of setup thing, or just explorative Western RPG or anything of that, or adventure game and whatnot, anything of this kind of game, I want to check out everything and explore everything and read everything. That's how you get screwed over in these kinds of mechanic systems, because that's how you get your insight. That's how you get exposed to madness. That's how you see the things that make your character go insane. So I'm probably screwed, because the more thoroughly I investigate, the more likely it usually means I am to go insane and make things worse and probably get a worse ending. That's how things have gone in similar experiences and other games and whatnot in the past.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, Nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
I'm gonna get it double, huh? I'm gonna be more likely to lose my mind and be accosted by the people that don't want people nosing around here. Why? What a parking job you've managed here. Congratulations on your level of asshole. Find hidden items. The spot hidden skill allows you to detect hidden items in a close range. Thanks for not waiting for me to finish reading you. Cool. Is it you?
Looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Okay. Is this the spot hidden?
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
It's a real big... anything, really. Hey, is this the thing I found? Oh, is that how I find it? A green dot? It doesn't show up nearby. It shows up off in the distance. What? I guess it's scaffolding? Not scaffolding, it's rigging. This part enables a heavy load to be lifted and held aloft without risk.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Oh, is this the hidden object? This lever activates a
The
mechanism.
handle. It must come from these old winches.
So I think the implication here is that whenever that's in the corner, I'm in a zone where I'm supposed to look for secret stuff, basically. And if my skill is good or bad, that affects whether or not I'm successful. It probably affects either whether or not I find the right stuff when I'm here, or maybe it affects whether or not this zone happens at all. Maybe this entire sequence won't happen if my skill's not high enough. Can't save. I don't want to accidentally activate the next area before I'm ready to be done. So I'm a little worried that if I finish this thing, he might, like, take off.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Yes, I could. Mount the handle. Ratchet device. It would seem that that is not yet enough. Look at those holes. Yeah, I need more first. It looks like there's something in that box. Is my character too dumb to open a box without sufficient searching skill? Is that a thing? Oh. I have a light. Did not realize that. How did I activate that? How do I make it go away? I don't know where it came from. That's freaking me out. I don't know where it came from. Can I go all the way back here? No. There's like invisible walls to stop you from going further. There's so much debris here that looks directly related to what I'm trying to do. You think I'd be able to find what I want? Near a broken version of the same device. Nope. Ain't happening. Alright, well now I'm curious. Settings. Controls. Keyboard. It's gotta be like a light button, right? Next and previous light is the mouse wheel. Light is middle mouse button? That's not what... I didn't press that, did I? I don't think I did. Huh. Maybe I did. Mouse wheel doesn't do anything right now. It seems like the suggestion is that I can use the mouse wheel, or I can use I mean, I can use a lighter, or I can use like a flashlight or a lantern. We did have a lantern in that dream. The hurricane lantern. Maybe it's called a hurricane lantern because it's a lantern that would block the flame from being put out by wind of any direction. Look at the little crabs. Can I crouch? I can crouch. Hey guys. They're just hanging the hell out. They come right up to you. That's not how crabs act at all. Maybe around here though, there's so many of them they don't think of. Ooh, medicine.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shyster.
It just got here?
Cops, they can't understand.
I didn't realize how new it was.
Stupid idiots.
Forget it.
Maybe if he breaks this, I can get a piece out of it that I need for the other winch.
Oh yeah.
Since winches just seem to be around. Let's look at the creepy, nightmarish statue. Can't wait to see that up close. This dock is a mess. Don't you guys like respect your own surroundings a little bit? Like, man. It's even managing to glow green. It's covered in runes. What the hell, man? You're not even hiding it at this point. Saint Brendan, the Navigator.
Saint Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Nope. No, you can't. Not with that more occult skill that we certainly don't have. Does the patron saint of whales and whalers still protect the sailors of Darkwater? Visibly, there were other gods before Saint Brendan, and their worshippers do not seem to be of this opinion. The locals still worship the old saint, but a mark was made on the statue by another cult. It always just says this is an extract from my own notes. I think one would assume that if it's not quoted as being somebody else, then it's my own notes. I think you can safely assume that. Including that every time's a little weird. Look how craggy this island is. Like, so little of this island is even a place you can live on or build on or anything. It's just a spike island. Not getting in there. Ooh. Look at you. And that's what we have rank for investigation, so we can break and enter. What could go wrong? Alright. Gonna need a light in here. Cat knows... What does that sound? Ah. Cat knows about the thefts from her stock of liquor. She'll soon find out who it is, and I wouldn't like to be in his shoes. That's not what it says, though. There's so much more text on the actual letter. Let's see. Cat knows about the thefts from the liquor stock. Leave a bottle behind your hut at the end of your shift if you don't want her to know who to look for as well. Your conscience will be more at ease for this week. Ah. Did they try to retcon that or something? I wonder why they changed the transcript or whatever. The transcript on the right is like, oh man, cat's looking for whoever's doing it. Like, man, I hate to be the person that gets caught by them. But the actual note in the middle of the screen is straight up like somebody blackmailing. As far as I can tell, it's somebody who knows who stole them, and they're blackmailing the person who stole the liquor, being like, you better leave some of that stuff in a place where I can get it if you want to feel safe this week. So it's a threat.
Stealing from the bootlegger's stock of liquor. Hello, old friend.
Hey, we found alcohol. Congratulations. My investigation skill is going to control our vices. Maybe drinking more will help us escape the madness, though. Oh, maybe that is the thing. On one hand, I was thinking, oh, drinking is like a vice, and you lose control. It might get you into like a bad territory, and things don't go so well for you in this story. But what if drinking throughout the game and having alcohol actually leads to a situation where I'm able to fight off the demons and fight off the constant threat of losing my mind? Like, if I find enough alcohol, I can drink away the fact that I'm finding too much stuff that makes me go crazy. So the investigation thing became a check mark to indicate that I've found everything. The question is, can you find everything? Does the check mark come up when you found everything you can find, or everything that can't, or everything that exists? Because there's a distinction. Because if my skill's not high enough, then I won't be able to find everything. But will I sit there and keep searching forever like a lunatic if it never tells me a check mark or what? I'm not sure what to think of that. I did feel like I searched everywhere on there and I didn't really see what I was looking for. Let's meet some people. I'm sure they're friendly.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again? I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Not fond of me, huh? I might want to talk to the lady again at some point, because the whole thing where I found out that somebody's been stealing. And if she's the one that they've been stealing from, she might want to know that. And that might be my way of getting to talk to her more. Or she'll just get mad at me for nosing around.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I respect your beliefs.
Our beliefs? You mean you don't believe in God?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you think.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Do you get paid for said chores every now and then? Otherwise, I'm just wondering, like, how do you afford to drink exactly? No, we ain't having a talk. We ain't talking. Oops. I want to check back in on the whole probably cat situation. Oh, you guys are over here now. You weren't here before.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean, they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
Yeah, he was pretty slow in the uptake there. The whole look at the freaking ghost smoke coming out of the lantern. Like it happened before, but that was a dream. Yeah, like dude, you're a sailor. You should be quick on the uptake on the whole cutting out the guts thing. It's kind of standard practice in your line of work. You guys weren't here before, were you?
Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. It's just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message. I told you to beat it.
She doesn't like me.
I told you to beat it.
She doesn't like me. Yeah, she's definitely cat. It seems incredibly obvious. All the way down to the part where she's clearly running this place. It couldn't be much more obvious. Don't know how much more dialogue we'll have, though.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations. Gifted with its own consciousness.
That's the same as last time. I might have unlocked new dialogue by going around.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
No, we've seen this stuff before. I can interrogate him about this. It had happened here.
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved Darkwater from famine.
They saved Darkwater from
What can
famine.
you tell me about her?
Oopsie.
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Yeah, we've been through
I've
all
got
this.
what I need.
Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Yep, nope, nothing new from him. I think it's about time, probably get to the warehouse.